Welcome back guys to another Kengan and Mega video. Today I'm going to be ranking in power wise or strongest to weakest or weakest to strongest of all of Team Kengan who's fighting Purgatory. So I put like a number saying, say I put 13 next to Ryuto. He's last, so the weakest character in the lineup, so that's what I'm going to be doing. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, and if you want to talk more about Kengan, make sure to join the Discord. Link is in the description. So 13 characters. Who do I think is the weakest currently after the 2-year time skip? And I'm going to have to say, out of all these people here, I'm going to have to give it to this dude right here. We saw his Kengan match. He was able to win against a Purgatory fighter, I believe, but still wasn't that special. And I don't think he really has that motivation. As we saw Jiao Lang mentioned in the last chapter, that the motivation or the reason many of these fighters are here are questionable. And he doesn't really seem the type to go all out and give his life to win one of these battles. So I'm going to give him as the weakest fighter in the lineup. Up next is a hard choice. I know who the top few fighters are, but the low fighters are hard to choose because at this point they're all extremely close in strength. So it's hard to say who's stronger than another. But I'm going to have to give it to our boy Okibo over here. I believe he has the skill, but just as a whole, I just don't think he has that special. I believe he'll win his fight against Purgatory because he kind of got destroyed after facing the Fifth Fang Agito in the first round of the Annihilation tournament. But still, I think he's going to win his battle, but I don't think he's the strongest in the team or that strong compared to other fighters. But like I said, they are all close in strength. Up next, I'm going to have to give it to Akora here for 11. I know he was able to defeat Ryuki in battle, but saying that, I think Ryuki didn't go 100% all out, and it is mentioned that at the end of the fight, Ryuki did hesitate where he could have maybe defeated Akora in battle. But saying that, number 10 will be Ryuki most likely, so that's my opinion here. Okay, they're the bottom 4, I believe. Now for the next few I kind of have it worked out. So for 9th, I'm going to go for Ryuto. Ryuto did train with Beard over the 2-year time skip, but 2 years isn't really a whole lot of training to go from probably one of the weakest fighters in the Annihilation tournament to a top 5 competitor. So rank 9 is a solid spot for him. I think that's where he's spot. He may show up other characters, but at this point that's where I think he sits for this Kengan lineup. And speaking of this Kengan lineup, it's actually top tier. Like, look at all these fighters, it's absolute guns. Number 8, I'm going to go for Hayami Masaki. He was able to defeat a top Kengan fighter off screen. We didn't see it. He's said to be strong. I believe he'll win his fight as well, but we need to see more of him. But currently, I'm happy with leaving him in 8th spot. 7th, I'm going to go for Julius. Julius, has all that power, all that tactics, but still, I think there's this other fighters, all these other fighters will probably be able to defeat him in battle. He may be huge and giant. I don't think he's going to win his Purgatory match, but he's huge, giant. But just as a whole, as a fighter, I think he's just sitting at 7th. In 6th, so this is where it gets extremely hard. Who am I going to put 6th? This may be surprising, but I'm going to put our boy Wakasuki. Yep, that's definitely how you say his name, but Superhuman Boy at number 6. That may be questionable. You may be questioning why he's number 6. He's able to defeat Julius. I still think he's above Julius after the time skip, but next to these other people, I don't think Oma and Rain improved probably the most over the 2-year time skip with them training at the Kure village and everything along that. The Fifth Fang probably didn't improve that much. He may have improved, but just based on what we saw in the Annihilation tournament, he's absolute freak, just able to evolve in craziness. And I assume that Jiao Lang improved quite a bit over the 2-year time skip as well. But up next, at number 5, I'm going to go for the 8th Fang Metsudo. He's part of Retsudo's execution squad or extermination squad, whatever you want to call it. He's part of he's the master or the person who trained Retsudo in martial arts. He's stated as the strongest martial art user or the best solo martial arts user in the extermination force. And I believe that extermination force people are said to be Fang levels, considering that he is actually a Fang. And last chapter we had Agito and Retsudo having a talk over pretty much what's going to happen or why Retsudo isn't the 8th Fang. It's mentioned that he was the one who trained him. So that's pretty much assumed that all people in the extermination squad are Fang level. So I'm going to give him at 5. And all these other people here are top tier Fang level or above at this point. That's what I'm going to say. So number 4, I'm going to give it to Gao Lang. Gao Lang here. I think he improved immensely over the 2-year time skip. We saw his conversation with Oma at the start of chapter 57, questioning like other characters' reasons for being here and whether they're going to be able to give everything they can. Gao Lang will give everything. He'll do whatever he has to win his battle. I believe he'll win his battle as well. And Gao Lang at number 4 is a solid choice. Now this is where it gets extremely hard. My opinion, I'm going to put Rain at number 3. I know he improved quite a bit. I still think Oma will be above him after 2-year time set. I just see that his Nikko style, his superior training, he may have Kuro techniques which already has bring him above all these other characters, but at this point Rain sitting at 3 I think solid. If we see more Kuro spots, he may be able to push to number 2, but I don't think he'll take number 1. Number 2 currently, I'm going to have to give it to the Fang, 5th Fang Metsudo, Agito. So it may be questioning why he isn't 1, because 2 years earlier or in the Annihilation Tournament, I would have given it to him as number 1 next to Oma, but since the 2-year time set, how much Oma's pretty much matured and probably with his new heart, he's not on the brink of dying every time he uses his advanced technique. I believe he's probably stronger than Agito at this point. Maybe not at his prime, but I don't think he's at his prime. I think he's maybe a bit weaker than what he was in the Annihilation Tournament. So saying that, I'm going to give him 2. But if he is stronger, I still think Oma may have an edge as probably the number 1 fighter currently in the winners. As I mentioned in my other video I made of who I think these characters will be fighting in the Purgatory lineup, I think the winners are going to be Gao Lang, Oma, Fang, Rito, this dude, and him. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7 winners, and then everyone else will lose. But if something does happen, take out him and the Fang will win. But that's my opinion on who will win. But that's my lineup of who I think is pretty much weakest to strongest on the Kengan lineup. My next video will be on the Purgatory lineup of my opinion of what I think weakest to strongest. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe and let me know your thoughts in the comments. That's it guys. Peace.